Hey everyone, I'm Greg and we're back at the Rockford Fosgate R&D lab. So today we're going to show you how we installed the all-new Stage 2 kit on this 2021 Can-Am X3. On our X3, we went ahead and removed the roof and strapped the doors open so we can move our cameras easily in and out of the vehicle. These steps are not necessary for your installation. But before you get started, it's always a good idea to disconnect the power when working on any electronics. The battery compartment is located on the back firewall behind the seat on the passenger side. For stages 1, this is the only seat that will need to be removed. However, for stages 2 through 6, you want to remove all the seats, and for video clarity, that's just what we did. All the seats are mounted the same, so to get started you need an 18mm socket and extension to remove the 2 nuts from the rear of each seat. You may have to adjust the seat until you can see the nuts through the access holes. Now, using the same 18mm socket and extension, remove the top of the seat belts. You'll use a 13mm socket and wrench to remove the 2 front mounting bolts. Now, if you're removing the driver's seat, there's also a seatbelt safety lanyard that needs to be disconnected. And once you have access, you can disconnect the negative terminal from the battery. To prep the dash for the source unit mount, start by removing the upper dash fuse panel. Then use an 1/8 inch drill bit and pre-drill the 2 holes using the dimples in the dash as markers. Alright, let's get these stock dash panels out. You use a T27 Torx to remove the 12 screws around the outer edge of the upper panels and 4 from the center. Now on the passenger side, there's a hidden 10mm nut located inside the fuel access door. You'll then use a plastic pry tool to remove the 4 plastic push pins on the top center area. And there's a 5th pin located behind the ignition hidden under the panel. Then remove the passenger side panel. To remove your driver's side panel, lift up and disconnect the headlight switch along with any other accessories and detach the cable stays. You'll disconnect the harness to the Smart-Lok module by pulling the red pin out and pressing the black catch prong. This can be very tight, so listen for a click. Then carefully remove the plug along with the 2 additional Christmas tree stays. Use a plastic pry tool to pop out the panels on both sides of the center console. This bezel and dash mount are designed to give you that clean OEM finish. Secure the bezel to the PMX source unit using the small screws provided with a 3mm Allen wrench. And then attach the assembly to the dash mount using the same size screws. Now we'll transfer our Smart-Lok module from the factory panel to the new speaker panel. Orient both panels on the same direction on a table. Using an 8mm socket with extension, remove the 4 screws from the Smart-Lok bracket. Transfer the assembly to the new panel and secure it using 2 of the existing screws. Now our kit provides you with new hardware for the 3rd landing, so feed the Phillips head screw through the top side of the panel and secure it with that 8mm locking nut. Your next step would be to transfer any electrical switches to the new panel. Now that you have the Smart-Lok module and switches installed, transfer the 4 push-pin grommets to the new speaker panel so they're ready for installation. Finally, we've included a replacement warning sticker. Now let's install your rear Moto-Cans. The rear cables are designated for the right and left. The red dot is the right or passenger side. So we're going to route the harness from behind the steering column into the center console and feed the cables along the passenger side and access port through the rear firewall. When you exit the rear, make sure we stay away from any hot engine components and suspension. Now for the passenger side, take that harness with the red dot and follow the vacuum line to the fender. Now continue along the taillight harness and exit through the roll bar area. So please keep in mind, you may have to remove the 5 T27 torque screws to fit your wiring through the rear quarter panels. Now on the driver's side, route the harness inside the channel that's specifically designed to keep wiring away from the engine. Continue along that taillight harness and exit through the roll bar area. Measure and mount your clamps at the desired height using the provided hardware. You may need to modify your shock placement to fit the speaker assembly. It's time to attach your Moto-Cans. Slide the can enclosure onto the bracket and tighten the bolt down using the provided security torques, and attach your safety retaining door. Now you can plug your wire and harness in. Alright, now that we're done with that, we're going to route our front speaker wires. Use the front left for the driver's side and the front right for the passenger side, making sure your waterproof connectors reside in the center dash. Okay, now you can install your PMX harness. Feed the 12-pin Molex into the center dash area from the driver's side and connect the power wire to the plug located under the center dash. Now, match your speaker locations to the proper cables and attach. Now is a great time to go through and secure your wiring runs. Be sure you have proper clearances where needed and any loose slack is tied off. Okay, you're ready to install your new front speaker panels. Start with the driver's side and reattach the Smart-Lok harness, being sure to push in the red locking pin. Now reattach the headlight and any other accessory switches that you have. Now move over to the passenger side and seat the panel back into its original location. Now you're ready to install your speakers. Connect the speaker wire by attaching the red wire to the positive spade lug and the black wire to the negative spade lug. Position the speakers to the number 3 hole on the panels and secure it using the included 3mm bit and supplied hardware. Now let's install your new dash assembly. Attach the included antenna and then plug in the white 12-pin connector. You can also make any additional connections with Rockford Fosgate accessories like the USB port, your aux-in, or additional remotes. Now using the T25 Torx driver, you'll secure the dash assembly to the Can-Am using the larger provided screws. Okay, now that we have that done, we're ready to make our battery connection, test our system, and reassemble everything to get this Can-Am back out to the trails. Alright, as you can see, that installation came together pretty easy. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact our technical support. They can be reached Monday through Friday at 1-800-669-9899. Until next time, I'm Greg, and we'll see you again soon.